Hello everyone, welcome back once again. In this video we will look at data assets in Visual Studio 2019. We will primarily explore ADO.net. But before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So ADO.net is a set of classes that expose data asset services for .NET framework programmers. ADO.net provides a rich set of components for creating distributed data sharing applications. It is an integral part of the .NET framework, providing access to relational, XML, and application data. So, ADO.net supports a variety of development needs, including the creation of front-end database clients and a middle-tier business objects used by applications, tools, languages, and internet browsers. So, rather than just talking too much, let's get to it then. Obviously, we're going to have to create a console application for this demonstration, right? So let's get to it then. So obviously, as you can see, I've got a Visual Studio 2019 opened. So let's go ahead and create a console application. So we're just gonna type console. In this case, we're not going to use the .NET Core. We're going to use the .NET Framework. So it's a .NET Framework console app. So as you can see, there's a .NET Core and a .NET Framework, and obviously we're using a C# language. So bear that one in mind. So by clicking on the .NET Framework, click on the next. So we're not going to make any changes to this bit here. So we're just going to leave it as it is here. So we're just going to click on the create. So it might take a few moments for the project to load. So let's bear. So as you can see here now, we've got the project loaded. Obviously, it's a console application with nothing inside. So first, what we would do is we're going to create a database. So as you can see, I've already got a database created here. We're not going to use that. So we're just going to go to data connection, create a new SQL Server database. So we're just going to type our server name. In my case, it's a SQL Express. So here, we're going to mine uses the Windows authentication. So if yours is not a Windows authentication, then you have to explicitly type in the server authentication. So the database name, I'll call it YouTube DB. Yeah. So we're just going to click OK. So as you can see, I'm just going to remove this DB so that we're not going to get too much conflicts. So as you can see here now, I've got YouTube DB. If we refresh it here, so we've got nothing inside the tables. So what I'm going to do is just going to add a table quickly. So add a new table. So we're just going to wait some few moments while the whole thing loads. So as you can see here now, we've got the new table. So I'm just going to rename the table, give the table a new name. Call it product. Then we've got ID. So we're just going to give a product name. So I'm just going to call it test. So we're just going to put the price as well. We're going to make it money. So that's all we're going to leave. So I'm just going to update the database. So if we look here, we've got nothing inside the database. Refresh it here. There's no table created, right? So I'm just going to update it by clicking this bit here. So we just got preparing update script. So here we click on the update database. So if you look at the command here, say update completed successfully. So if we come inside the Server Explorer and refresh that, so as you can see, we've got the products created now. So as you can see, we've got the usual stuff. So the next bit is obviously from this database that we've just created, we're going to generate an ADO.NET object model from it. So we right click our project and add new item. So here we can click ADO. So as you can see, ADO entity data model. So that's what we're going to add. So ADO.NET entity data model. So here we're just going to name it YT entities. So click on the add. So here you can entity framework designer from the database. So here we can generate from the database, or we can generate an empty designer model or empty code first model, or the code first from the database. So in this case, we're actually going to generate the designer. So we click on the next. So here we are actually prompted to select the database that we want to use. If it's not selected here, you can come inside a new connection, type in your server name, and then look for the database. So in this case, YouTube DB, that's the one we saved. So we click test connection. Obviously the connection is succeeded, and then okay. So once we got this bit sorted out, so now we can click on the next. So save connection settings in app.config. So this will actually save our connection string into the application configuration. So we click on the next. Then here we can select what type of entity framework that we want to use. So we use the latest bit here, 6 plus. So here we actually can select what type of tables that we want to export or import, to be precise. So we just gonna check the products table that we've already got. So click on the finish. So sometimes you get this warning bit here, just click OK, you get another one probably. Just keep on clicking OK, it doesn't really matter. So as you can see here now, so we've got the data objects model here, showing here the product with all the attributes. So if we actually go down here, so here you can see that we've got this YT entities created with a bunch of stuff, right? So if we look here, we can get the DB context here. So as you can see, we've got DB set, the usual entity framework stuff for the products, right? And then if we come inside the diagram here, we've got the product. We're going to add one more entity. We're going to call this bit here category. So the category, we've got the property name with an ID, and there is an integer. Obviously that's a primary key. So we click OK to create it. So as you can see here now, we've got this category created. So if we actually later on refresh it, we can see it created here. So we're just going to add a bunch of stuff to it. So here we can say a name. So here the properties, you can check the data type here at the property here, this bit here. So you can make changes to the data type. So we look at the data type, and here voila, is a string. So we've got data type, so we can also create a relationship or an association. So by clicking on the association, so we get the products category association. So we could say one product or many products to one category. So many products to one category for now. So here we can add foreign key properties to product. So basically the category ID as foreign key. So we can check on this box to add it. So as you can see here now, we've got every product with the categories, and then on the category side, we've got a collection of products. Yeah, so you can organize this by dragging and dropping them to wherever you want, and then by also moving the lines and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna leave this video here for now, but before I go, I'm just gonna quickly generate the database from this model before I leave. So as you can see here now, if we refresh this bit here, we've only got the products created. So right now we've added category to the model, so we can update the database by clicking on the generate database from the model. So here we can actually generate the database. So as you can see, it's generating DDL. So once it's generated, we can click on the finish. Then this stuff that it keeps creating. So as you can see, we will get the SQL file that we're going to run. So now we can actually run this bit here by clicking on the play or the execute. So here we're actually prompted to select what database that we want to make the changes. So we're just going to select our server SQL Express, and then the database, this will be the YTDB. So we connect. So we shouldn't wait a bit. So as you can see, query executed successfully. So if we come inside the server explorer, refresh it, we should see the categories here table. So as you can see, this is how we go. So in the next video, we look at the link language integrated query to entities on my next video. So if once again, yeah, as I said, please subscribe if you haven't. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Peace. Catch up on the next video. Bye bye.